We were planning on doing something like this, and then Bhakti suggested that we should get input from you guys. And yesterday we did that, and we were seriously surprised and super glad and flattered with the responses that you guys sent us. Seriously, this is more than 200 questions, 200 papers that you guys sent us. The moment I got it at 2 p.m. yesterday, I called Bhakti and I said, we have a lot of work now. So from 2 till almost 12 in the night, we did just this. We read every single of the suggestions that you guys sent us, every single one of them, consolidated them, and we have all the questions. Now the best part is that after seeing all those questions, we said, well, what the speech that we were planning to give is a complete waste. So we just scratched it. No speech. All we are going to talk about is every single question that you guys have and what we think about it and what we have experienced, all the talks that just came from our experience. That's it.
So, why are we here in the first place? First of all, because we have a lot of free time on our hands. हमारे पास करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. Second of all, elders like to give a lot of ज्ञान. So, we have to talk and we have to listen. We don't have a choice.
And like all the gyan from all the elders that you get, it's free, just like Facebook and WhatsApp. And we waste less of your time as compared to Facebook and WhatsApp. So
basically, when we went to the Sector 4 branch yesterday, we asked you guys to ask any question that was there in your minds. And there were a lot of similar questions. There were some extremely difficult and different questions. And to save more time, we've tried to consolidate them in different categories like studies-related questions, success-related questions, emotional questions, time management questions, things like this. And there are some miscellaneous questions. So it will not be possible for us to answer each question personally, but with the effort we've tried such things that none of your questions go unanswered. Because there were so many similar things, we have consolidated them, and I hope the answers that we give are useful to you. Plus, we are no gurus, we have a little bit of experience with life, so whatever we might say might be wrong.
The most important thing, seriously, we are not extremely experienced, we are still like 25-year-old guys, and it's just our experience that we are talking from, the things that we have experienced, and our world is also not very big. So some of the things, some of the situations that you guys are in, we haven't been in your shoes. So the answers might be just what we think about it, how things like that should be handled. But every single person here has a different situation, has a different condition, has a different set of friends, have a different kind of family. They interact with people differently, they have their own emotions. So whatever you guys feel like it's something that I can do about, it is something that I should do in life, do it. If it doesn't make sense, feel free to leave it, and that's it. Yeah.
And all of you can hear us, right? Can you hear us? Studies related to this.
Okay, so the first section that we are going to talk about is something related to studies. Like people have question on how do I study this, study that, what do I choose after 10, 11, 12, science, commerce, etc. So one of the most common questions that we get from all the 10 standard students is, which subjects should I choose in 11th and 12th? And this is on so many people's mind. Now, first of all, prepare for board, do well in that, think about subjects a little bit later. Second, a very important thing that I have found in my life is that just choose what you like, irrespective of marks. I know it's very, everyone says that the whole internet is full of such talks, but in the end, doing what you like and choosing something that you feel more interested in doing, because I know at this age, finding what you're passionate about, it's like, I don't think anyone in this this age can really figure out what their passion is. Very few people can do it. But most of the general population figuring passion or what they really like in life, it's going to happen in the later stages of your life, not right now. And right now what you can do with the conditions that you have is, what do you like? And see where your talent lies and just choose that. Like, for instance, I can give you a good example why I chose science. Is mostly because I love the way world worked around us, right from cars to as simple as bicycle to cars to fans to AC, refrigerators, anything, you name it. So I love the way it worked, and I just found that science had very similar things. They taught us how it worked, and I like that fact, and the reason I chose science was more on those lines. Now, do you want to talk?
Yeah, so basically, choose the subject that you like. I can give my example that there is a question that follows that if you take commerce, so very prominent questions, which subjects to choose, I think we pretty much answered it.
To add to that quickly, is that the paths that we choose generally in life, they are not very clear. And in the future, you are going to choose paths based on what you have learned. For example, let's say, actually, that's another question, so I think I'll answer that in another question, sorry. So let's move on to another question, is how to increase the learning power and retention. So one thing that I definitely found very useful for me, it's a very personal opinion, is that you can, if you do repeated reading, it works nicely. And the best thing that has worked for me is reading just before sleeping. So I used to do that. I have done that throughout my life, my college, my postgraduate, everything. Whenever there's an exam, I would, even for 10-15 minutes, I would just read up the whole thing very quickly, revise what the thing is. And in the morning, it's very fresh, even if you do it for 15 minutes.
There's also a fact that whatever you read, it can be anything, it can be studies related or anything. Whatever you read, if you revise it within 24 hours, you will not forget it for at least 4 and 5 months to come. So I think this is a very important trick for people who are going to appear for boards, that you have to constantly keep reading and revise within 24 hours. If you have learned 2 chapters today, revise those two chapters before you go to sleep. And most of you are going to forget this trick, so when you go to sleep tonight, revise what I told you.
Yes, that's correct. So, someone asked me a question, there were, I think, 2 people, like how to make a career in gaming. Now, there are 2 parts to it. First, whether do you want to be a professional gamer or do you want to make games? Those are completely 2 different choices.
If the person is here who's asked this question, we would like to clarify. Do you want to become a professional gamer or do you want to design games?
Because I like games, that's why I want to answer this. Not here? Okay, anyway, so I'll answer both of them. If you want to become a professional gamer, it's a very niche industry. For instance, look, I'll draw a parallel with the actors. There are probably 20 big actors in Bollywood, and how many actors are, how many people in India are trying to become a big and successful actor? So the number of people, it's not even a percentage of people. Like for example, you can say, oh, there are X number of people and 1% of them are engineer. You can put the number, but with actors and professions like this, it's not even a percentage game, it's a number game. So there are 20 actors who have made it big. Same with gaming. I'm not sure what's the scene in India, but if you take the world, it's a very niche industry. The professional teams who compete for like Dota 2 championships and which has gigantic prize amounts. But the number of people, it's extremely small. The number of championships and everything where you can get money, it's very small. So you have to be among the best of the best of the best to reach that level. And believe me, like in any sport, if you want to become, let's say, a Federer or anyone who want to be the top of the game, you need a lot of luck, you need a lot of talent, you need a lot of hard work. So it's the same with gaming, if you want to become a professional gamer. So think very carefully, it's a very different kind of industry. If you want to make games, start. Like there are so many tutorials online. There is Unity platform on which you can create games for Android, iOS, any design. So there are like tons of, just Google how to make games. There will be tons of tutorials and you can start right now. And in few years you will become really good and probably you can start your own business also out of that.
The next question is, how do I improve my concentration? How many of you have this problem? Concentration problem. पढ़ने बैठते हैं दिमाग कहीं और चला जाता है. There's this one chick, the girl or the boy says that I sit to study but I'm so distracted and I start cleaning my room, I'll start thinking about dinner, and this is a very common problem, believe me. Even we have the same problem. Even if I'm reading one of the most interesting books, my mind tends to drift away. It is a very natural human tendency. Your mind is programmed to wander about. Your mind, उसका tendency है कि वो भटकेगा. So I can tell you 110 ways to improve concentration, but first and foremost, you have to practice those ways. You cannot just say मेरा concentration नहीं लगता तो मैं नहीं पढ़ सकता. If you really want to study, you have to practice this. Meditation really helps. If anyone of you wants to know personally about meditation or something like that, they can come to me, they can contact me personally. It has helped me in every field of life, including preparing myself to swim in 0 degrees water. Meditation is what has helped me. And the very basic technique that you can apply at home is sit in front of a candle, try to focus on the flame. Initially you will be able to focus for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you will see that thoughts are in dimag mein, but as you keep on practicing it, just try to focus your attention on anything and gradually you will be able to control the thoughts in your mind. It is a very vast topic. It can be spoken about for 2 or 3 hours, and in those 2 or 3 hours your concentration will be for about 10 minutes. So try this, try the candle flame thing, try to concentrate on anything and get back to me. I really want to know if this helps or not, and meditation definitely helps.
For me, is keep wondering even till now. Even in exams, I wonder. I'm doing some question and then I start thinking about, oh, this is so awesome, that thing is so awesome, and then I realize, oh, I'm giving an exam. So it's a very normal tendency. It happens. Now, I can point out the times when I'm not wondering. Like I've been sitting on the table and I kept doing my work for probably 6 hours, 8 hours. I've spent more than 24 hours sitting on a table and I just did it and I didn't even realize it cost 24 hours. Now, those things have only happened in the fields I'm extremely passionate about. Like, I just love doing it, that there is no stop to it. So, programming is one of them. I just love programming and I have done that. I love gaming. I have done that. Well, that used to be like a few years ago. Right now, my gaming is very bad and I hardly play anything. But programming, gaming, and then reading books. Some of the, not reading books, reading articles. I just love reading articles on human psychology, human philosophy, how people behave, how our mind works, how businesses around the world work.
I used to be at the pool at 4 o'clock and practice from 4 till 7 so that I could study in the night. So you have to know कि कौन से टाइम पे कौन सी चीज़ आप अच्छा कर पाते हो. अगर आप सुबह नींद निकाल रहे हो, आपको पता है आपको नींद आ रही है और आप घर वालों को दिखाने के लिए सुबह टेबल पे बैठ के बोल रहे हो मैं पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ, you're not managing your time, you're wasting your time. Rather get up and go and play outside or draw if that is your hobby, or cook or whatever your hobby is. Devote the time because hobbies have a tendency to wake us up. If you like singing, if you like dancing, you'll not feel sleepy while doing it. So the most sleepy hours should be contributed towards your hobbies or towards the things that you like, and when you're really active, that time should be given to studies because you can actually capture your mind and put it into studies. You know, there is a ghada majdoori and there is smart work. So don't do ghada majdoori कि मैं 4 घंटे बैठ के पढ़ रहा हूँ लेकिन उसमें से पढ़ाई आधे घंटे हो रही है. Rather just get up, give the time to something else and sit for another 2 hours instead of sitting for 4 hours constantly and not gaining anything out of it.
So I'll give my example. Like when I was preparing for JEE, during my 11th and 12th standard, I must have completed around 20 to 25 games. So it worked like that, and that's what she's saying. Like if I didn't feel like it, I would play game, but then it would be based on a timer. You know, I would have a timer and like in half an hour or 45 minutes I would complete this and then I would go back to study and I just stop then and there. So I used to do that and that actually helped me, you can say. And though it did waste my time, obviously yes, but probably the time that I spent in studying, it was way more productive. Had I been slogging, oh no, I have to finish this chapter, I have to finish this chapter, like, okay, tomorrow there's an exam at 8 in the morning, it's already 12 in the night and I have to finish this chapter before sleeping and blah blah blah. It's not going to help, like you are just slogging and your mind is just not there. You have to stop doing the reading and studying right then and there because you are not into it.
Take your books in the bathroom if that's what helps.
Yeah, and
I am not ashamed to admit it, that's what I did right from my 10th standard. If I thought I could study well in the bathroom, I've taken books in the bathroom. So that's how cautiously you have to manage your time. And there's nothing wrong about taking books in the bathroom. So most of you have asked 12th Commerce students, what are my options after 12th Commerce other than CA, CS, BCom? I was a 12th Commerce student. I started preparing for CA. I cleared my entrance examination, but then I thought that this is not what I want to do. And that's when I started really researching about the options that I have. So I'm really glad you are asking this question because what I saw was commerce कर रहे हैं तो CA ही करना है, commerce कर रहे हैं तो CS ही करना है. So I'm glad that you guys are asking this question. So the options that you have are BBA, BBM. You can go into the field of economics. You can do your master in economics. And personally, I did my BCom, and then I realized that I have an interest in mass communication and advertising. So I did my MBA in mass communication and I specialized in advertising. So this was a completely different field that I had not even heard about. मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि advertising में MBA हो सकता है. So these are the options that I can tell you, but you need to keep researching. And please take this out of your mind that if you have chosen science or commerce in 11th or 12th, those are the limited number of options that you have. You have n number of options. If you have done commerce in 12th and you're interested in psychology or geography or history, doesn't mean that you cannot go for a BA in graduation. और तुमको कम समझा जाएगा अगर तुम BA करोगे. ऐसा नहीं है. So you have n number of options. There are students who have asked me about wildlife and photography, so they already know their options, right? So, and commerce is a pretty flexible stream. So you can easily switch to something else. So you need to find out what your interests are. And आज की तारीख में हर चीज़ के लिए कोर्स है, हर चीज़ के लिए. So find out what your interests are.
To add to that, you don't even need a degree. Come on, the degrees are completely useless. What matters in the world is what value you are creating in the society. The degrees are just a way of saying, oh, you can do at least this much. But how much can you do beyond that? The degrees don't show at all. None of the degrees in the world show that. Even the best engineers from MIT and the worst engineers from MIT, I mean the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is the best engineering college in the world, they have a big gap in their skill set. But both of them have the same degree from MIT. So what you are actually going to do, that matters. And degrees are just a way of the way our basic certification of people's skill set works in the society. So if you are going to create new businesses or if you are going to become really good at advertising, degrees will help you a little bit, but if you want to become the top 1% or top 0.1% in advertising, it's your passion that will speak, it's not the degree that will speak in any field that you're going to do.
How many of you know about advertising or public relations? And when I say mass communication, how many of you directly think journalism? So, many of you know about advertising or PR, right? It is a very broad field. Commerce, science, I've seen engineers from IIT come into graphic designing or come into copywriting. Copywriting is basically जो आप ad में बोलते हैं blah blah blah, ये साबुन खरीदिए आप blah blah blah. That is copywriting, and I've seen engineers from IIT and best colleges do that because that is what they like. So what I want to say is don't define yourself by your subjects. मैं commerce student हूँ, मैं science student हूँ. नहीं, मैं science पढ़ रहा हूँ, मैं commerce पढ़ रहा हूँ. I might not like it or I might want to change it. Don't let that define you. People call me a swimmer, but that's not just who I am, right? Don't let your subjects define you. Broaden your perspectives, broaden your horizons. और हर चीज़ डिग्री के लिए करना ज़रूरी नहीं है. If you like something, just pursue it as a hobby. You might just get good at it.
So I would just continue on that. Like there is a more question which gets answered is like I want to do X, but my parents are forcing me to do Y, and how do I do that? How many of you have this question? Few? Okay.
You want to share? What do you want to become? Yeah, go ahead. But you are lucky because to be a pilot you have to study science, to be an engineer you have to study science, just study science and become a pilot. You need maths for pilot also. Which class are you in? And what is your subject? PCM, right? So the problem is that you want to be a pilot later on, but parents are forcing you to be an engineer. It's a dream. Okay. There was one more student at the back who wanted to say.
When I do my graduation, my parents are saying that drop after 12th and prepare for IIT. My answer is science.
So I want to address the pilot wala question. You're already studying science, and you are saying, when I questioned you a little more about, why you want to become a pilot, something, you immediately switched. It's a dream. You are yourself not convinced that you really want to be a pilot, and maybe your parents can see that clearly. Our parents have the tendency to see कि बच्चा सच में passionate है या ऐसे ही सूखे पत्ते की तरह इधर-उधर उड़ रहा है, right? So while talking to me also, you are not convincing me that you really want to be a pilot. So you need to convince yourself first, do I really want to become a pilot? And if the answer is yes, and you are already preparing for engineering, the best way to find the middle ground is first try to convince your parents, obviously, why you want to become a pilot. Show them what are the options, I can make good money by being a pilot also. I can join Air Force or I can be a commercial pilot. Show them the options. And if still you cannot reach a middle ground with them, I would really, really suggest that you pursue engineering and take flying courses. Make money out of your engineering job to pay for your flying courses. There is not just one way to become a pilot. You can become a pilot. I wanted to become a pilot, but I didn't have science in 11th or 12th, so मैं कभी नहीं बन सकती. And I still regret it. Because I see my peers जिन्होंने science लिया था, they are doing a full-time job and they are saving up money and they are putting it in flying classes, which you can take if you have PCM. So you have a really, really good option to pursue engineering, get a job, try to save up money, take up flying courses. Before you can fly a plane, you have to finish a certain number of flying hours. Finish those number of flying hours and then you decide, do I really like flying or was it just, a passing fad?
So I flew a plane and it's awesome. So being a pilot is awesome. I agree. So now the question comes, how do you convince yourself? Like until you can convince yourself, it's hard to convince anyone else for anything. There will be so many questions. So how do you convince yourself? So it's more of like an internal dialogue with yourself. So the best thing, like how to convince anyone actually, like how do marketing people do it? Like they convince anyone to buy even a very bad product. Like I have seen big businessmen stealing millions of dollars of deal on like very bad products just because they're excellent marketers. How do they do that? So the way they do it is understand what the other person is asking for. What are they looking for? For in our case, like for parents, they are looking that, well, definitely you should have a certain safe future where you can ensure certain amount of money and it's not extremely risky and they just want your well-being, right, in the end. Now, being a pilot is something that even they are not sure that how will you go about it. The whole process around it, it's so vague and it's so unclear, right? So when there is, so it's a very human tendency when things are very vague and unclear, we tend to be away from it. You know, we don't know what to do about it. So the first thing you do is Google. Google is your best friend there. Just Google how to become a pilot, what can you do to become a pilot, what are your options, go figure out, just ask everything, why, how, what, when, which, every single question on every single thing. If you are really passionate, you will do it, you will find every single thing, and then you can convince yourself why you want to become a pilot. These are the steps I need to take to become a pilot. Even not just a step, like every single step can open a wide number of options. So you need to say, oh, I can do X, then these are like a set of things that I can do. If I do this, then these are the set of things I can do. If you can convince yourself with the whole process of becoming something, then you will become something. Like that's how I have done it for many different fields. So yeah, to give you a good idea, like I have done video editing, I have done special effects, I have like in IIT Bombay I was a civil engineer, and from there I went to a master's in computer science. So I didn't study computer science actually. How did I do it? Well, I just did it for passion. I loved things, and it happened because I had the process and things in mind. And sometimes I didn't have a process. With some help, some gates got opened and things just happened. So you just need to find the process.
The most important thing also to know is at any point of time in our life, we will want to do 100 number of different things. I still want to be a lot of things. I still want to be a poet or a painter or a pilot for that matter. But in the short span of life, we cannot do everything. But I want to tell you this, that even if you opt for engineering, I don't want you to give up on the dream of becoming a pilot. I actually want you to invest the certain number of flying hours and know if I really like flying. You know, because once you get into things, you might say, "Acha, ये तो मुझे इतना पसंद नहीं था, मैंने ऐसे सोच लिया था." At certain point, I wanted to become an air hostess. But now when I look back, I don't really want it. I didn't really want it at that point either. And one of our colleagues one of our batchmates is sitting there, she can tell a lot of things. We have like 100 ideas every day, ये करना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए. But you need to be logical about your choices. So I hope I answered your question. And as far as the businessman question is concerned, he says that...
Should I take it?
Just do it. He says that he wants to pursue business right after his 12th standard, and his parents want him to prepare for IIT.
Engineering, you know, you do things which you like while you're doing the core things that you're supposed to do. Those are two different things. So if you want to become a photographer, wildlife photographer, right? While you're doing your engineering, commerce, BA, BCom, whatever, take a camera, get a laptop, start doing photography. Like you probably won't need more than 8 hours a day to complete your BA, BCom. You can do it in way less. You have 8 more hours in the day, considering 8 hours, you sleep for 8 hours. You have 8 more hours in the day to take your camera, go anywhere, get the photographs, become really, really good in that, so that you have an economic value in the market to be a photographer. Like if you're a photographer and if you send it to, let's say, a newspaper and say, please publish this photograph and give me 10,000 rupees. And if they don't feel it's worth it, they are not going to do that. They need an incentive to, the photograph has to be that good to be like that. So become really good while you're pursuing your major thing, become really good in your hobby, and then you can easily switch any time. Once you have a good value, switch, pursue it full time, and that's it.
Do you have a business idea? Have you shared it with people around you? Have you shared it with your parents? Just one friend. And were you able to convince him? So what you need to do is, if you really want to be a businessman, you need to start coming up with more and more ideas. You need to start sharing it with people and see if you can actually convince them. अगर आप अपने क्लास वालों को convince नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो आप business कैसे चलाओ? So you need to share it, right? So I hope you've answered that.
Yeah. So there was a question on how to improve English.
No, wait. There is a question. A similar question. My dream is to become an architect, and simultaneously I want to pursue a career in web blogging like YouTube or video blogging. So what should I do? Will the person want to stand up, whoever asked this question? So basically his or her dreams are, they want to become an architect also, and they want to become a video blogger also. And I'm going to say you're really lucky, because you can study to be an architect and you can video blog about it. You can share your experiences, like while you're in college, just take a camera, record a video. I'm entering into my architect college. Make a YouTube channel, and number of people will benefit from it. and people are making money by video blogging. So you don't have a either or scenario. You study to become an architect and you video blog about the experiences in your life.
So some of the questions are similar, like I want to be a chef, I want to be a photographer, so I think we have addressed that, like how you should
The
proceed.
chef question was that, is it okay to choose an unconventional career? And if yes, my dream is to become a chef. So what should I do? I think chef in nowadays is not an unconventional career, it has almost become a mainstream. So you have n number of opportunities, enroll in a hospitality management course or enroll, but do know that being a chef is a very difficult lifestyle choice and you have to be really good at it. But if you want to become a chef, please become a chef, open a restaurant and invite me.
Me too. Okay, so how to improve English? My English is really bad, really bad. So the way I improved it was like I started reading a lot of I love articles, as I mentioned, like love reading articles about every single thing. So reading a lot of articles helped me improve it. And then I think after going to US and then talking so much in English, I think it improved automatically, but my English is really
The only way
bad.
to improvise a language is to practice it. So I would suggest that pay attention in your grammar lessons, because I still remember Meenakshi Ramchandra ma'am, and whatever I am in field of English right now is because of her. She was very strict, but I thank her every single day of my life. I think she was the only teacher who ever punished me, but I thank her for doing that. And when I came to 11th and 12th standard, we had Bhatia sir teaching us English, and he encouraged us to, write those advertisements, letters. So I thank both these teachers for whatever communication skills I have. The only way to improve English is, we feel shy when William sir comes and tells us that the medium of language is English, you have to speak in English. हम उनके सामने हाँ बोलेंगे, but we all know पीछे जाके हम हिंदी में बात करेंगे. So if you really want to improve your English, please start speaking in English. Make a club or something. Make a book reading club. That every week you pick up a book and you read and you share it and you discuss it. So the only way is, और कोई एक दोस्त पकड़ लो, please. मैंने एक दोस्त पकड़ लिया था बचपन से, जिसको शर्म नहीं आती थी मुझसे इंग्लिश में बात करने में. कोई एक दोस्त पकड़ लो and start communicating with them in English. That's the only way to go about it. And yeah.
And if you open a book club, I have a suggestion that I'm sure every single person has a different passion. So in the book club, bring the books and articles that you really love. If you love airplanes, if you love cars, if you love interior designing, if you love how the awesome houses in the world are designed, just bring books and articles on those topics which you love reading about and share it with everyone. So in that scenario, you will be passionate and there will be information sharing also. So there was a question which actually intrigued me, that some people are good at sports, some people are good at studies, some people are good at extracurriculars, some people are good at co-curriculars, but the person actually wrote, and some people are just so dumb that they are not good at anything. What to do? So to answer that, I'll say every single thing can be a talent. If you like to talk a lot, I used to do that when I was small. But if you love to talk a lot, if you love to, sing in bathroom, everything can be a talent. But how do you make that talent into a career? That's a very difficult thing to do. It's not difficult, it's very vague on how to do it. Let's say if you want to talk a lot, become a marketing person, become a businessman, to convince people, which requires so much talking, and all your skills will go into that.
Become a PR person. The whole job of public relations person is to go and talk to journalists. Please, ये story छाप दो. They are making money out of just talking. Become a motivational speaker. Become a video blogger. There are people who are making videos on YouTube just by imitating how Gujarati people behave or how Punjabi people behave, and they're getting paid for it. So every single thing that you do can be made a talent. The key is to believe that you're really good at it and to keep working on it. Like right now, people are making money by being a stand-up comedian. Who would have thought? But people are making money. So if you're really good at cracking jokes, if you're really good at making people laugh, and if you're really good at just observing things around you, become a stage person.
Yeah, and the
most important thing is find an economic value. By economic value, I mean how to get money out of it. What will people pay me? How will people pay me for something that I'm doing? You know, because you need money in life. So you have to really think through what you can do and how you can get money out of it and just do that. Try it. Some things will fail. It's fine to fail. It's bound to fail. They will fail, but just don't stop. Keep trying in different fields, in tangential things, and you will find something, that's for sure.
There was a very niche question, which course to take if I want to expand my family business. I think you should do a BCom or BBA or BBM for your graduation. And there are courses like MBA in family business, MBA in business expansion. These are the courses which specify that how you can take your parents' business to the next level. So I think these are the courses for you. There are courses like this.
So I have got this question like 4-5 times at least, like how to learn physics. I think a lot of people are struggling with physics here. And physics was my favorite topic. So how did I learn physics is by observing the world around me. Like every single thing has physics. The way you walk, the way bicycles work, the way electric bikes work, electric cars work, the way airplanes work. It's all mechanics. Then there is like how phone works, how computer works. Just see what concepts you are learning and how they apply to the real world. And if you see those things in real world, it becomes easier to grasp the concepts. Some of the concepts are very abstract, like quantum physics. Seriously, I never understood it till date because I can't really see it in the real world and how quantum physics works. Or even special relativity. I don't really remember the concepts. I read them, but I don't remember them. But if you talk about mechanics, on how things work, I still remember them because it's easy to observe in real world.
Till now, whatever we have discussed, is there any question that you want to ask? Is there something that you want to discuss? Are you getting bored? Importance of commerce. A lot of people has asked, what is the importance of commerce? I would very briefly want to explain that science and commerce are like two hands in a body. A country cannot function without science or without commerce. Commerce is really important. It really depends if you like it. If you like it, go for it. There are n number of options for you.
Let's go with depression.
Do you want to address difference between foreign and Indian students?
I can talk about it, but it's a very lengthy topic and I don't think it will be justified to, talk in quickly. So a lot of questions will go unanswered because I think we are out of time. Like we will be out of time, so a lot of questions will go unanswered. What you guys can do is Google me or just email me. My email is gaurav.lavati@gmail.com. It's very straightforward, first name dot last name @gmail.com. Or just find me on Facebook and bombard me with questions. I'll be happy to answer.
Now we are moving on to a little tricky segment which is emotional, and I was surprised to see there were a lot of emotions related questions also, and I'm so glad that you guys spoke up about it. I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but whatever answers I'm giving you are based on what I faced during my teenage, and from then on whatever I've learned how to deal with situations like this. So the more prevalent question is how to deal with depression. First off, I want to tell you that please don't use this word lightly. Depression is not like I'm angry or I'm sad. When you're saying I'm depressed, you're talking about a more serious thing than just being sad. Depression basically is defined as a low mood, a state when you're not feeling very up and you don't want to participate in any activity, and if it continues for more than 2 or 3 weeks, then it can be defined as depression. But if it just comes and goes, I think it's natural human behavior. And yes, India is ranked the number 1 in the number of people that are depressed in this country, and 36%. 36% of people in India are depressed. So the first thing I want to tell you is, don't feel shy. Don't think that this is only my problem. Don't think that if I discuss it with people, what will people think about me? Every second one of you, I think, is going through this. So the best way to deal with depression is first, don't be shy about it. Second, talk about it. Talking really helps. If you cannot talk to your friends, seek seek your teachers. If you cannot seek your teachers, seek your parents. If you cannot seek your parents, Google. There are a lot of articles on depression online. When you know कि ये सिर्फ मेरे साथ नहीं हो रहा है, you feel a little good about it. कि सिर्फ मेरे साथ नहीं हो रहा है कि मेरा किसी चीज़ में मन नहीं लग रहा है या मैं दुखी रहता हूँ. Talk about it. You will know how many others are facing the same situation as you are. And if you're not shy of admitting it also, if you're not shy of saying I'm depressed, you should not be shy of seeking help. The word counseling is associated with a taboo in our society. And I am here to tell you that counseling is as important as education in this country. There has to be counseling. There has to be counselors in school. There has to be a comfort level where a child can come and say that I need counseling. I need to talk to somebody. So please, be the person who says that I need to talk to you. There will be people who will listen to you. In this case, you can email things to me. You can seek your seniors. I would like at this point to introduce you to Sharon. You can talk to her. You can talk to an n number of seniors and they will tell you that it's not a big deal and there is a way out of it. उसी में घुटते रहने से कोई मतलब नहीं है. Talk about it. Talk to yourself. If at some point some people face anxiety attacks, पसीने छूटने लगते हैं, सांस चढ़ने लगती है, you feel like you're going to faint. Talk to yourself. Most important thing is breathe. Breathing really helps, and I'm not just saying as a sadhu or a guru. It's a scientific fact that when you send more oxygen into your body relaxes. The chemicals that are creating those anxiety attacks, they subdue. So first thing, when you're feeling an anxiety attack, is to breathe and talk to yourself. Calm down. सब ठीक हो जाएगा. सब ठीक हो जाएगा. You have to do this. This counseling should be as real as depression itself is. So if you have any more questions related to depression or anything, you can come up to any one of us and ask about it. And please don't be shy of talking about it. I want to get to the very basics of attraction or crush. It is a very natural thing. सबसे पहली बात तो सिर्फ तुम्हारे साथ नहीं हो रहा है. Second thing, attraction or crush is a part of your growth process. It is a part of you becoming the person that you're going to become. तो अगर आप, and the most important thing is, attraction is not that मुझे उस इंसान में ये पसंद आ रहा है इसलिए मैं उसकी तरफ अट्रैक्ट हो रही हूँ या हो रहा हूँ. Attraction is a projection of your feelings. When you like somebody, सबसे पहले अट्रैक्शन कैसे होता है? किसी को देख के कि वो अच्छा लग रहा है या उसकी कोई बात अच्छी लगती है, राइट? Actually what is happening is, जो चीज़ें आपको पसंद है, जैसे आपको पसंद है शांत रहना, जैसे आपको पसंद है कि आपका पार्टनर या आपका बॉयफ्रेंड या गर्लफ्रेंड ऐसा होना चाहिए, ये क्वालिटीज़ उसमें होनी चाहिए. यू स्टार्ट प्रोजेक्टिंग दोज क्वालिटीज़ और अदर पीपल. अगर उनमें नहीं भी है तो आप उनमें देखने लगते हो, थोड़ा सा आप अट्रैक्ट होते हो इनिशियली और फिर वो सारी अपनी जो अंदर की, इट्स लाइक फैंटेसाइजिंग, इट्स लाइक डिज्नी मूवी. कि हम जब डिज्नी मूवी देखते हैं हमें एक सपनों की दुनिया में ले जाया जाता है और वो दुनिया अच्छी लगती है बिकॉज यू वांट टू लिव इन दैट दुनिया, राइट? सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर आप किसी से अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हो तो बेसिकली वो क्वालिटीज़ जो आप उसमें देख रहे हो, ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो क्वालिटीज़ उस इंसान में है. वो क्वालिटीज़ एक्चुअली वो हैं जो आप उनमें देखना चाहते हो. और इस चीज़ से बाहर निकलने के लिए यू नीड टू गेट टू नो द पर्सन. किसी भी चीज़ को रेजिस्ट करोगे तो वो उतना ज़्यादा पावरफुली वापस रेजिस्ट करेगी. बट इफ़ यू लेट इट पास थ्रू यू, यू विल गेट ओवर इट. इट हैपन्स कि आप किसी से, मुझे नहीं पता यहाँ पे कितने लोगों के साथ में हुआ है, बट व्हेन यू आर अट्रैक्टेड टू समबडी, यू गो अप टू देम, यू टॉक टू देम, यू गेट टू नो देम अ लिटिल बिट एंड यू आर लाइक, छे आई डोंट लाइक दिस पर्सन एनीमोर. होता है कि नहीं होता है, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई वी जस्ट डोंट हैव वन रिलेशनशिप इन आवर लाइफ, वी हैव मल्टीपल रिलेशनशिप्स इन आवर लाइफ, राइट? सो द बेस्ट थिंग टू डू इज गो एंड टेल द पर्सन and just don't skip to oh I love you, please. You don't love that person, you just like that person, you like hanging out with them. So if you're getting attracted to somebody, I would really recommend, if you were my friend, I would ask you to do this. Go and tell that person that hey, I like talking to you, I like hanging out with you, or point out the things that you like in them. जैसे तुम्हारे दिमाग में है कि ये लड़का जैसे बात करता है वैसे मुझे अच्छा लगता है, so go and point it out to them, hey I like the way you speak, and then see कि वो वाकई में ऐसे बात करता है या तुम्हारे दिमाग में अलग ही चक्की चल रही है. So the best way is to go and talk to the person you are attracted to, start hanging out with the person. Please don't skip to I love you, and let's plan a life together, and you are the most. There is a question that what happens when a person is more important than your own life and the person doesn't know about it? भाई तुम कौन से सीरियल देख रहे हो? मेरी जान से ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है इंसान और इसको पता नहीं है. No, nobody is more important than your own life. Nobody is more important than you yourself. And especially at this point of time, no single guy or girl is worth throwing your life for. Michelle Obama addressed a number of girls in US and she was like, no guy is worth giving up your education for. And I'm trying to tell you, no guy or girl is more important than your life. ये सब जो सोप ऑपरा से तुम सीख रहे हो, ये मेरे हैं, ये मेरे हैं, मैं इनके बिना नहीं जी सकती, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, सबके बिना सब जी सकते हैं. So please get out of that phase. I know you are an emotional person. Whoever this is, I am as emotional as you are and Sharon can vouch for this. मैंने खुद ने अपनी लाइफ में ये डायलॉग बहुत बार मारे होंगे. But I know that we don't mean it. If you like somebody, go up to them, tell them I like you. If they respond back humbly, good, be friends, take it forward from there. But if they insult you, if they make fun of you, they are not worth it. Please don't spoil your life because of them. And nobody is more important than your life. And then somebody asked me, what if somebody tells you that they love you, but they don't mean it? If you're writing this question, you already know they don't mean it, so don't believe it just because you want to believe it. And nobody loves you at this point of time. They just like you. So attraction and crushes, anybody wants to ask more questions? I know people are shy, but the bottom line is just tell them that you like them. Simple as that. How to handle personal criticism? This was a question that we thought is really important to address. All of you can hear me? Personal criticism कि किसने हमें कोई ये बोल दिया तो हमें बुरा लग गया, दिल पे लग गया. How to deal with it? First thing is to know yourself. मेरे में क्या कमियां हैं और मेरे में क्या अच्छाइयां हैं, right? Everybody has a flaw, and if the personal criticism सीधा दिल पे तीर की तरह मत ले लो. Stop and listen. What are they trying to tell you? If I am coming and telling you your English is not good, you need to go back and ask, is my English really not good? And if it's that, then you need to work on it. Criticism can be constructive and destructive. You need to differentiate between it. क्या मेरे को काम आने वाला है और क्या मेरे को काम नहीं आने वाला है. और दोनों चीज़ों में criticism को दिल पे लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इसको दिमाग में रखो. Don't get hurt by what people are saying. Mostly people don't even know what they are talking about.
To add to that, if you do this, it will help you throughout your life. Because right now you are in school and you will be in college, you'll find, like even if there are 100 people and then even if you find 5 people who are going to criticize you, if you take it on heart, you will get sad. It's the rest of the 95 people are not even criticizing. It's just the 5 people who have this behavior or they have this personality of doing it. Just don't take it on heart and just actually introspect on if it's actually true. If not, then just move on.
The next question is, my behavior or my studies are getting affected by the family issues that I have. How to deal with it? I think this is a very important question to ask at this point of time because you're not a child anymore and you're not an adult. You're in between. You're a teenager and you're developing your own thoughts. And based on those thoughts, you can actually see what my parents are doing is right or not. So if you are having family issues, every family has an issue. If you are having an issue and if you think these issues are so big that they're affecting you, the best way is to go and tell your parents that boss, ये आप कर रहे हो, इससे मुझे ये फर्क पड़ रहा है. You know, I think this is not the right thing to do. I think this is affecting me. Can we please sit as a family and sort it out? It is very important to learn to be able to talk to your family. I'm not telling you to say, आप लोग ऐसे करते हो इससे मेरे को ये हो रहा है. Be humble, you know, because as much as you want to think that adults have their life figured out, it's not true. Everybody is struggling. Even if he's a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old, everybody is struggling with certain issues and nobody is perfect. So go and talk to your family. Go and tell them this is what you're doing wrong and this is how it is affecting me. And if you can't talk, write a letter. If you can't write a letter, seek a relative or a cousin who you think can be, you would be able to talk to your family, but communicate it to them. अपने मन में रख के मत ये डर जाओ कि मेरे पेरेंट्स ऐसे कर रहे हैं, उनको समझ में नहीं आता है कि मेरे पे क्या असर पड़ रहा है. उनको कैसे पता चलेगा कि तुम पे क्या असर पड़ रहा है? You need to go and tell them, ये आप कर रहे हो, उस पे इससे असर पड़ रहा है. Talk to your parents. They want to listen to you.
And to add to that, like the thing I said about convincing anyone, ठीक है, तो कितनी बार होगा कि तुम बोलोगे कि ये असर पड़ रहा है, पेरेंट्स सोचेंगे क्या सही में पड़ रहा है, नहीं पड़ रहा है, उनको कभी लगेगा नहीं तो ऐसे ही बोल रहा है, ठीक है, ऐसा भी होगा. तो उसमें एक बार खुद को कन्विंस करो कि मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है. तो उसके भी अराउंड वाई, विच, हाउ, व्हेन, जस्ट आस्क एवरी सिंगल क्वेश्चन टू योरसेल्फ, राइट इट डाउन, figure out the questions, write down the answers and see how actually it is affecting you. Because जब तुम अपने पेरेंट्स से बात करोगे तो तुम उनको कन्विंस कर पाओगे कि ये जो हो रहा है इसके पीछे मेरे ये रीजंस हैं. अगर तुम लॉजिकली किसी को कुछ भी बताओगे तो वो कन्विंस हो जाएंगे. एंड आई एम श्योर 100% ऑफ यू कि सबके पेरेंट्स अपने बच्चों की भलाई ही चाहते हैं, बस उनको कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा कि ये सही में हो रहा है और हम ऐसे ही नहीं बोल रहे हैं.
Interesting question. How to enjoy life without hurting parents? I want to know your idea of enjoyment. If you are here, please tell me कि तुम ऐसा क्या enjoyment करना चाह रहे हो जिससे तुम्हारे parents को hurt करने वाला है. Please मत करो. How to know your limits and avoid falling with bad temptations? बहुत ही basic answer है. Know yourself first. If I come and tell you that smoking cigarette is bad, don't take me on my face value. Go back and find out why smoking cigarette is bad. या why doing something is bad. Lungs खराब करते हैं, health खराब करते हैं. If you're a sports person, stamina खराब होती है, आदत लग जाती है, लत लग जाती है. ये सारी चीज़ें तुमको खुद को find out करना ज़रूरी है. Why it is bad. So the next time somebody comes up and offers you a cigarette, you'll not be like, यार मम्मी पापा ने मना किया सिगरेट पीना अच्छी बात नहीं है. नो, you'll be like, I know ये अच्छा क्यों नहीं है, इसलिए मैं नहीं पीने वाला हूँ. सिगरेट के पैकेट पे लिखा होता है it causes cancer, and yet you choose to smoke. That is a choice that you are making. It's not a mistake. You're not falling into bad temptation. You know the harm it is going to do to you. So if I come and tell you doing drugs is bad, and you just take it right now, और 4 साल बाद तुम्हें कोई दोस्त मिलता है बोलता है यार चल let's try drugs. You need to know why doing drugs is bad, what effect it has on your head and your body. So the next time somebody offers you drugs, you will be like, do I want to do this to my own body? क्या मैं अपना दिमाग खराब करना चाहता हूँ drugs लेके? You need to know why a temptation is bad to be able to resist it. Otherwise you will just be like, well let's try and see. लोग तो कहते हैं बुरा होता है, देखे तो सही क्यों बुरा होता है? पता करो क्यों बुरा है. Then make up your own mind. That is the only way to resist a bad temptation. Know why it is bad. Why does this generation feel that they are mature? I think teachers and sir and everybody will vouch for it. हर generation को हमेशा ये लगता है कि हम mature हैं. So it's not just you. We've all gone through this. We all feel that we are more mature. So don't fret about it. How do I get inspired?
So, you start.
Do you guys want, for us to stop for a few minutes or something? The next question is, how do I get inspired? Now, it's a very general and basic question to ask. पहली बात तो तुम्हें inspiration किस चीज़ के लिए चाहिए? ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So set a goal. So this is what I want to do, and for this I want to feel inspired. So that's called finding your own act. मुझे अगर एक्टर बनना है तो I might not find an inspiration from an IITian. So you need to know what I want to be inspired for. Secondly, how to find inspiration is to start knowing about people, is to start knowing about things. And personally, I find inspiration in every small single thing. इसी के आगे एक क्वेश्चन है, कॉन्स्टेंटली मोटिवेटेड कैसे रहो. जैसे अभी तो आपने आगे 2 घंटे बात कर लिया, हमने सुन लिया और हम बहुत कम है, कल जाके फिर हमारा वही हाल होने वाला है. तो कैसे कॉन्स्टेंटली मोटिवेटेड रहेंगे? तो जिस तरह से कॉन्स्टेंटली डंडा पड़ना चाहिए सर पे, उसी तरीके से कॉन्स्टेंटली मोटिवेशन भी पढ़ना चाहिए. इन माई रूम आई हैव अ वॉल which is full of things that inspire me, which is full of quotes, which is full of books. I start my morning by watching videos online, by reading books. so that I stay motivated throughout the day. So it is a very generic question. You need to find out the things that inspire you and you need to do it continuously. A lot of students, and I think this is a more important question for the teachers here. A lot of students have written, I want to communicate to my teachers, but I'm not able to communicate it. So what should I do? I think this is teacher and student is just like any other team. Tali ek haath se nahi bajegi. So first of all, from your end, you have to remove all the prejudices that you have in your head. कि मैं ऐसे बोलूँगा तो टीचर ऐसे ही सोचेगी, मैं ये बोलूँगा तो इसी का जवाब यही मिलने वाला है. You need to remove those prejudices from your mind. You need to remove those presumptions and just go and talk. And first of all, be polite, be humble, be tamiz mein. You know, that's more important. Just because you have a problem and just because you think that the teacher is not understanding does not give you the right to not respect them. You know, they're not gods and they have about 40 to 50 students in a class to take care of. It's not possible for them to know what is going on in each one of your head. So be polite, be open, try to see when the free time is, try to approach them in the staff room, try to approach them during lunch hours, try to approach them online. I mean, try to ask, ma'am, do you have an email ID? Sir, do you have an email ID? There are certain things that I want to talk to you about. Write to them. Remove this prejudice from your mind that if I talk, the teachers won't listen. And simultaneously, I think the teachers also can make an effort to find out, is there something the students want to talk about?
So to add to that, I would say that from my experience, every student has a different connection with different teacher. You know, for some teachers you just don't have the connect, and with some teachers you have the connect. Now, if you have problem even in other fields, anything, go and talk to the teacher you have connection with. If not, write a letter, just give it to them. But if you have connect, I think it's easier. So do that, and probably he or she can forward your thoughts and help resolve it.
So these were the things that were specifically related to your life, and there were specific questions that you wanted to answer, wanted answers to. A lot of people have asked personally me and Gaurav to share our life stories with you. So we would want to start with that. Do you want to start?
Okay, sure. So I'm going to talk mostly about like my professional life and how do I see it and how do I evaluate it. So I studied in St. Anthony from low LKG till 12th standard. So this has been my only school, and I got interested in physics, chemistry, probably around 7th or 8th standard. We had Mamta ma'am, and her way of explaining things just struck very well with me. Like, it was amazing. So I was able to grasp a lot of concepts. I got interested, and that helped me probably like get interested in the field. And after that, I did things like not much. And then I prepared for JEE. Now 10th, 11th, 12th, right? I want to focus on those time. Most of the crowd is like that. So 10th standard, there were board exams, but I actually never. I did prepare for them. I ensured whatever I could do, I'll do it. But that's it. Not much beyond that. I never compared. I was not caring too much about the competition, because I think we have a tendency to get into the competition, and it just worked out that I never really cared about it. So there was a question actually, like, how do you fight and deal with competition? The way I did it was just ignore it. You know, it's hard to ignore, I know. Like, घर जाओगे, मम्मी पापा बोलेंगे, अरे देखो XYZ के बेटे के तो इतने नंबर आते हैं, तुम्हारे क्यों नहीं आते हैं, है ना? तो सबका अपना अपना होता है यार, कि कोई किसी में अच्छा होता है, कोई किसी में अच्छा होता है. तो उनको बोल दो यार कि मैं 80% लाइक मैं मेहनत कर रहा हूँ, मैं 80% तक ला सकता हूँ, उसके आगे खिलाने की कोशिश करूँगा. लेकिन आई थिंक समझते हैं लोग कि सबका नहीं होता है कि वो उतने ला पाए. ठीक है, सबका अपना अपना एरिया होता है, सब अपने अपने तरीके से चीज़ों को देखते हैं। तो और वो सारा जो एग्ज़ाम पैटर्न है वो काफ़ी स्टैंडर्ड तरीके से वैल्यूएट करता है। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम जिस तरीके से चीज़ें देखते हो, तुम जिस तरीके से चीज़ें लिखते हो, वो एक स्टैंडर्ड पैटर्न में आके तुम्हें मैक्सिमम मार्क्स दे दें, ठीक है, वैसा नहीं होता है। तो like that's the main thing. And dealing with competition, I mean, I have so much to say on that. So every competition that you're going to face in your life, be it 10th board, 12th board, JEE exams, PMT, PET, or any other exam, CA, anything, you know, if you're not passionate about it, it is going to be difficult. You know, if you don't like the subjects, it is going to be difficult. If you agree to your parents कि हाँ मैं कर लूँगा, ठीक है, चल रहा है, it will be hard, ठीक है, because in every single competition you are competing with people who are passionate about that field. You know, like अगर किसी एग्जाम में 5 लाख बच्चे बैठ रहे हैं तुम्हारे साथ ही, तो उन 5 लाख में से कम like 1% लोग भी अगर पैशनेट हैं उस चीज़ को लेके, तो वो लोग काफ़ी अच्छे से पढ़ लेंगे, ठीक है। अगर तुम उन 1% में हो, तुम काफ़ी पैशनेट हो, तो तुम उस कंपटीशन में अपने आप अच्छा कर लोगे अगर तुम्हारा मन लगता है। तो अगर तुम्हारा मन नहीं लगता है तो बहुत मुश्किल होगी, आसान नहीं होगा। फिर भी फाइट मारो, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि फाइट मत मारो, फाइट मारो, गेट समवेयर, बट जो तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है वो भी करो साथ में, ठीक है। नाउ देयर okay, so I think yeah, that's the core idea behind that. And
I would quickly, most of you know about me, but I would want to quickly share my life story with you and simultaneously cover the questions that are success related. मैंने भी सेंट एंथनीज में पढ़ा है since I was in LKG, did my 11th 12th from here. Most of you want to know about my swimming life, most of you want to know about my experiences. I cannot share all of them with you, but I'll try to share the most important ones. Basically, when I was 2.5 years old, मेरी मम्मी ने मुझे पानी में डाल दिया. I didn't have a choice, so I had to swim. So that's how I learned to swim, because my mother is a swimmer herself, and she wanted to teach the sport to me. So since I was 2.5 years old, I have been swimming. Simultaneously, I used to do karate also. Not many people know, but I'm a karate brown belt. And till 6th or 7th standard, I was alternately doing one day karate, one day swimming, along with my studies. But when my karate coach decided to go back to his hometown in Manali, we picked up swimming full time. And हमने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि इतना ये करेंगे या इंग्लिश चैनल स्विम करेंगे या वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाएंगे. बेसिकली द आइडिया वाज माय पेरेंट्स ट्रूली बिलीव दैट हर बच्चे को पढ़ाई के साथ में एक एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी आना ज़रूरी है. एंड स्विमिंग वाज माय मदर्स ओन स्पोर्ट. दैट्स व्हाई शी बिकेम माय कोच, शी बिकेम माय मैनेजर. Like many sports people here, I started participating at district level competitions, started winning them, went on to state level competitions, started winning them, went on to national level swimming competitions. But swimming में क्या होता है कि in Udaipur we get winters from say November to January, February. So 4 or 5 months the pools are closed. पहली बात तो pools नहीं थे जब मैंने swimming start किया. We used to go to Lakshmi Vilas Hotel, which is now the Lalit, and learn there. Beach में I used to practice in the Pichola Lake because we didn't have pools. Then BN swimming pool खुला and then we started practicing there. So what happens is because of the winters, pools are closed for 5-6 months. So for any sports person, the most important thing is to practice and practice constantly. तो जितना मैं गर्मियों में स्विमिंग करती थी, जितना मेरा इम्प्रूवमेंट होता था, उतना सर्दियों में जाके सब खत्म हो जाता था. सो टू कीप मी गोइंग वी स्टार्टेड एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग कि कितना ज़्यादा हम कर सकते हैं. तो जहाँ बाकी सारे बच्चे अक्टूबर में स्विमिंग करना बंद कर देते थे, मैं नवंबर तक खींचती थी. ओरिएंटल पैलेस के पूल में या आलोक स्कूल के पूल में उनको रिक्वेस्ट करके कि आप पूल चलने दो. So that's how I started developing a habit of swimming in the cold. It was not easy. जब रज़ाई से निकलने का मन नहीं करता है तो मैं और मेरी मदर पूल खोलते थे, मैं पानी में होती थी और वो डॉग पे अकेली होती थी. एंड वी यूज्ड टू स्विम टिल एक लाइट का बल्ब जला के से उतनी रोशनी में वी यूज्ड टू प्रैक्टिस. सो इट वाज नॉट ईजी. So because of this problem that coaching नहीं हो पा रही थी ठीक तरह से, when I was 14 years old, my mother came and asked me that there is something called the English Channel. I've heard about it. I don't know इसका मतलब, I don't know वहाँ पहुँचते कैसे हैं, उसे किया कैसे जाता है, बट मुझे पता है कि इंग्लिश चैनल जैसा समंदर में स्विमिंग होता है, करना है क्या. And till that time I was really bored with the pool swimming, so I just said why not. So my entire journey of becoming a world record swimmer just started with a simple why not. And you need to ask yourself this question very regularly. जब अगर तुम्हें कोई बता रहा है कि ये क्यों करना है, उससे पूछो क्यों नहीं कर सकते. You know, they would not have an answer, but you will have an answer. So that's how I started, and at the age of 14 years old, I did my first sea swim. I swam 16 kilometers from Puran Port to Gateway of India in Mumbai. After a month, I swam 36 kilometers from Dharamtal to Gateway of India, which is a practice session. I tried to apply for the English Channel, but you have to be at least 16 years old to be able to do a solo swim. So when I was going in 12th standard, when I turned 16, 12th standard में लोग 11th के वैकेशन से कोचिंग करना चालू कर देते हैं और मैं 11th के वैकेशन में स्विमिंग की प्रिपरेशन कर रही थी लंदन में. So I actually joined school 4 months late, but at the age of 16, I did my first English Channel solo swim. I want to tell you that English Channel का success ratio is 20%. So अगर 100 लोग जा रहे हैं, सिर्फ 20 लोग उसको successfully कर सकते हैं. And when you talk about competition, this is as competitive as competition can get. इंग्लिश चैनल में ये होता है, इंग्लैंड से फ्रांस के बीच में 36 किलोमीटर्स है जो आपको तैर के स्विम करना पड़ता है. बट व्हेन यू एक्चुअली स्टार्ट स्विमिंग, करंट्स आते हैं, वेव्स आते हैं. सो मेरा स्विम वाज 45 किलोमीटर्स एंड आई स्वैम फॉर 13 hours and 50 minutes नॉन स्टॉप. करंट्स चेंज होते हैं. पानी दूसरे समंदर से जब एक समंदर में आता है तो करंट्स चेंज होते हैं. एंड आफ्टर स्विमिंग फॉर 10 hours, I was stuck at one place for 1.5 hours. I couldn't move because पानी इस तरह से आ रहा था. That is the point of do or die situation. You can either सिर्फ 4 महीने समर होता है जिसमें टूरिस्ट जा सकते हैं वहाँ पे. बहुत ही लिमिटेड टाइम पीरियड होता है. When I swam Antarctica, the water temperature was 1 degree Celsius. I mean just above 0 degree Celsius. It was not even completely 1, and the wind temperature was 0 degree Celsius. यहाँ उदयपुर में I think 5 या 6 से नीचे जाता नहीं है और हम लोग 6-7 कपड़े पहन के घूमते हैं. And I didn't use a special costume or anything. So how I prepared myself for Antarctica was I was looking for places to swim. कि इतना कम टेम्परेचर कहाँ जा सकता है, वहाँ जाके प्रैक्टिस करनी चाहिए. मसूरी जाना चाहिए, देहरादून जाना चाहिए, कश्मीर जाना चाहिए. बट बिकॉज आई डिडंट हैव स्पॉन्सरशिप, I was not able to go anywhere. So, you know, a lot of people have asked me in the sports section that we don't have many facilities, what to do about it, and I am here to tell you, make the most of what you have. If I didn't have the sponsorship to go and practice in a hill station, I bought a small plastic ka swimming pool at my home, filled it up with 10 tons of ice every single day, suspended myself from a mining harness जो miners पहनते हैं दीवार से लटकने के लिए. I suspended myself from a mining harness, stuck the hook on the wall so that I could stay in one place, and that's how I practiced. हर दिन 10 टन बर्फ एक छोटे से पूल में डाल के और उसमें अंदर घुस के और खुद को माइनिंग हार्नेस से सस्पेंड करके. So if you have a goal, if you have a dream, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find excuses. Then I moved on later to a small swimming pool, and every single day we bought. हम आइस फैक्ट्री के सबसे बड़े कस्टमर आए थे. 20 टन बर्फ हम रोज़ खरीदते थे. मेरे घर वाले. People have asked me the role of my friends, my parents, and teachers in the society, and I'm telling you, I couldn't have done it without them. My mother, my sister, my father all became a मजदूर. बर्फ तोड़ के अंदर पूल में डालते थे. Then मैं स्विमिंग करती थी 20 मिनट के लिए क्योंकि उससे ज़्यादा सर्वाइव करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. और 2 घंटे के लिए मैं ऐसे रहती थी. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I have videos that I can show you. I was like this for 2 hours. और पूरा घर, कोई कंबल लेके आ रहा है, कोई सिगड़ी चला रहा है. हेयर ड्रायर्स जो होते हैं बाल ड्राई करने के लिए, वो एक रज़ाई में पैर के यहाँ पे, एक चेस्ट पे लोग ऐसे पकड़ के खड़े रहते थे ताकि मुझे थोड़ी गर्मी मिले. एंड बिकॉज आई कुडंट स्टॉप शिवरिंग, तो आपको क्रैम्प्स आने के बहुत चांसेस रहते हैं. सो देन माई मदर यूज्ड टू कम एंड फॉल ऑन मी ताकि उनका वजन रहे और मैं शिवर करना छोड़ूं. सो व्हेन आई से दैट पेरेंट्स हैव अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल टू प्ले, they could see that I am suffering. You know, Antarctica was my sole dream. They could see that I am suffering, but they had faith in me. So when I am telling you कि वो conviction लेके आओ and your parents will believe you. They will believe you. They believed that I can swim in 0 degrees water because they saw that I was trying for it. You need to have that conviction in yourselves to be able to convince your parents. So this was it, and now I'm the youngest swimmer in the whole world to have swum in 5 oceans. I have swam a distance of 2.28 kilometers, which is almost 2.3 kilometers in 41 minutes in Antarctica, and that is the longest that anybody in the world has ever been. And 41 minutes के बाद में definitely आपको hypothermia होता है, so I don't remember most of my swim. I just remember shivering and howling, but I can tell you that each moment of it was worth it. And somebody has asked me share a special moment of your life which we can get motivated. And this is the last thing that I want to say. बहुत मैंने मेहनत किया, बहुत स्पॉन्सरशिप इकट्ठा करने का कोशिश किया, क्राउड फंडिंग स्टार्ट किया. विलियम सर वाज अ हेल्प, गौरव वाज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट कंट्रीब्यूटर्स ऑन माय क्राउड फंडिंग. मैंने हर चीज़ सोची, टी शर्ट्स बेचने, टी शर्ट्स बेचो, लोगों से पैसे मांगने की 100 रुपये डाल दो, 50 रुपये डाल दो. मैंने वो भी किया टू गेट द स्पॉन्सरशिप, एंड आई गॉट इट एट द एंड. व्हेन आई वेंट देयर, 4 डिग्री के पानी में, 2 डिग्री के पानी में बर्फ़ डाल डाल के स्विमिंग किया. एंड व्हेन आई वेंट देयर, व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माई स्विम, the water was really salty because it is Antarctica, so the salinity is really high, और बहुत भारी हो जाता है पानी, swim नहीं होता है. And that's when I thought कि मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा. And 5 minutes down the line, I could see a penguin swimming under my tummy. And then the penguin swam with me for 20 minutes, 25 minutes constantly. And when I saw this penguin, a smile came across my face. Like I looked up to the boat and I was smiling. And when इतने मुश्किल काम में, if something can make you smile, you have to have the faith that God wants you to succeed. So when they say that there is a will, there is a way, and God helps those who help themselves, I am the living proof. And the penguin. So if you think that there are some questions that we've left unanswered, please get back to us. And